27th of September 2023. This is one of that Let's Talk Skidmarks of mine. And in this one I want to touch a topic that is for some people quite emotional, and for some people it's a patriotic thing, and for other people it is a thorn in their sides. And that's about Western Cape independence. Now, in my recent videos I've been talking about it, Section 235 and Volksstaat and Boer republics and things like that. And I get a lot of comments and messages, and people pointing me to talk to the guys that wants the Western Cape independent, ULA or something like that. Now, I think we have to bring something into perspective, and that is the enemy of all of us, every living person in the West, specifically the West, all of us are in some way controlled by XXX. Now you know, if you follow my channel, you know who this XXX is. And one of the components of XXX is the global capitalists. And they are the guys that are financing everything the Western politicians are doing. Right. Here in South Africa, we have a situation that there has been many articles and many interviews and videos around the fact that the Stellenbosch mafia controls the ANC. I'm not going to discuss that, because as far as I'm concerned, that is a given. We know it. There's more than enough evidence to know that the ANC is under control of that capitalistic element of XXX. And I'm not saying the ANC as a collective. I'm talking about the ANC leadership. They have been carefully selected for their positions, and it is not the sharpest knives in the drawers, but they are well funded to do exactly what XXX wants. Now, you sit there in the Western Cape and you operate in your daily lives, and you've got your farm, or you've got your home, or you've got your homestead, or you've got a plot, or you live there, or you've got a business there, or whatever. And that is your world. And then there's a talk of secession and independence and all of that, and people get emotionally drawn into that subject. Self-determination, things like that. But all of the time, no attention is paid to the power of XXX. Now, I have asked the question many times to many of these people that are promoting Western Cape independence. I said, just answer first these two questions. Point number one, how will you secure your border? Point number two, what are you going to do with those millions of squatters? Because we all know those people are not natural Western Cape citizens. They moved there, or were shipped there, or were planted there. Any one of the three. Fact is, there are millions of them. Just look what it looks like around Cape Town with the squatters. 30 years ago, there was nothing like that. Now it's everywhere. They even start erecting fucking shacks on the highway, on-ramp, grass banks and things like that. Everywhere. Everywhere. What are you as an independent Cape going to do with that? You're sitting there with a bundle of people that has first basically annexed a portion of your center of the city. Immigrants from other African countries. Took you, I don't know how long to get them out of that church building Now they're in a tent. They refuse to go. They want plane tickets to some Western paradise. Instead of loading the fuckers onto a bus and ship them over the northern border, and from there on they become Zimbabwe's problem, and then Zimbabwe can pass them on. The fact of the matter is, just load them and ship them. But no, XXX keep you hogtied with human rights and all that cock. So, think about that. And then you will understand you've got a major problem with the squatters. Something that the Western Cape economy cannot cope with. So, that's the first real issue. But now let's look a little bit deeper. This ANC cabal is fully under control of XXX. Then you look, one, at the importance of the Cape Sea route. If you do not take into consideration the strategic value of that sea route, then you are actually stupid. And then you have got no idea of what is happening globally. The second thing is, that sea route, the West has got that fairly under their control currently. And the sea route is friendly towards the West. Because of the cabal, the ANC cabal. And they are propped up by their DA lackeys. So the West is fairly calm about that sea route. But the Brieks are not calm about that sea route. Because they know that sea route is under threat. So that sea route, control over that sea route, can be a trigger for a Ukraine-type war in the Western Cape. Yeah, and you're going to say I'm crazy and what the hell. Open your eyes and look what happens around the globe. Then another thing. It's public knowledge about those gas and oil fields that has now been basically confirmed on the west coast of the Western Cape. Do you for one fucking moment think XXX will relinquish that? If you think it, take your time and go and see what XXX did to Libya, what they are doing to Syria, what they did to Yemen, what they did to Yugoslavia, and then think again. They planned it for Russia, and Putin said to them, fuck you. That kite's not going to fly here. So they're all over the globe plundering. That's what they do. That's what they do. That is how they survive. So do you for one fucking moment think they will allow you, a small, little, almost insignificant group, to go independent and take the Western Cape with you? Forget it. You're living in a dream world. You may go through the legal processes and get all the laws and everything in your favor, and let's for a moment imagine some imaginary world body say, okay guys, you're right. Legally, the Western Cape is yours. You are free to secede. And the local ANC cabal has got no option. They must listen to this international body, because this international body belongs to XXX in any case. And they cannot resist that too much, but they've got a fucking plan. So on the Friday, they pack their bags and they get onto their flights and they fuck off out of the Western Cape. Friday night, it's lekker in the Western Cape. Fish braai and barbecue and braai and booze and wine, and the fires are burning high. The freedom fires are burning high. And everybody is in a state of euphoria. Come Saturday, the after party, they carry on. Sunday, And Sunday afternoon they go to bed fairly early because the babalas is all over them and the festivities was out of this world. And Monday morning, pa! The Western Cape is invaded, conquered and annexed. And then, one thing that can go wrong in that scenario, not wrong, which I think is part of the plan. Thousands, if not millions, will be dead. And the Western Cape is back in the claws of the cabal. They got rid of a few 100,000 or million or what of useless eaters in the process. And whoever has got any idea of independence will be quietly hiding deep in a dungeon under his dune house, because it would be short-lived and it's over. And you don't have to believe me. You must go and do the research and see how these things work. Then you will understand that this Western Cape independence is a pipe dream. The only thing that can work in South Africa and save all of us here is a total collapse of the ANC cabal, a total collapse of the central government, and everything back to tribal control. And the tribes can federate and sort their shit out amongst one another. Because amazingly enough, on tribal level, the people doesn't have problems with each other. They can live with each other because they have to live with each other. It's just this elevated politician species that is sitting there in Cape Town that are removed from all of this. And they're sitting there and fucking all of this up. That's what they're doing. So, the problem for us is to get the central government out of the way. Get back to tribal levels, tribal federations, no politicians. And yes, there is people that tell you now that some of the tribal leaders are corrupt and so forth. Trust me, the tribes sort corrupt leaders out rapidly, because the tribal process does not make provision for 27 years of litigation and 94,000 fucking appeals and things like that. The tribal council gets together and say, listen, this guy is crooked, this is what he did, and tonight he's out. So, think about that. So, for those that are constantly and continuously telling me to go and talk to the Western Cape secessionists, now I hope you understand that independence for the Western Cape will never be allowed, never be tolerated by XXX, and you in the Western Cape do not have a military might to keep your independence. Please give me a like and a subscribe and share the thing. Thank you for your support.